we just got done talking all about Concord and the open beta. And we're done with that discussion for now. We'll check back on it on Monday. But there's another live service monstrosity that is about to get an update. It was supposed to have already gotten the update, but now it's been delayed, and we'll get it next week. That, of course, is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League Season 2. Now, I am one of the 17 people that is still keeping up on this game. And people are like, Luke, clearly you actually deeply love the game because you still talk about it. Honestly, it's because people like hearing about it. Like, my job is to make videos people want to watch. And for whatever reason, people like watching videos about this dumpster fire. They just do. And they want to know what's going on. They want to see inside. And I think it's because, like, they don't want to waste the money naturally. And they don't want to deal with the mental trauma of investigating it themselves. So they just live vicariously through me and let me do it. You know, they want to hear the stories of my escapades exploring it, but they don't want to get their own hands dirty, which is totally fine. And so I'm happy to oblige. Yeah, the vids kind of print money. Yeah, it's like one person in the comment section said, they're like, Luke, at this point, I think you've made more money on the game than Warner Brothers has. And they were joking, but I'm not joking when I say that is literally true. We know that this game cost them and it has caused a roughly $200 million loss on their books. And the funny thing about math is that if they have numbers that are extremely negative, so if they are dealing with, say, let's say this is the break-even point, okay? So this is the $0 point. I can do that a little bit more legibly, okay? This is the $0 line. They have lost 200 million. 200 million. Just to put that in perspective, that's how much money they've lost on this game. So if I come along and make $1, I have technically made more money than they have, which is really, really funny. I don't know why. It just fills my heart with joy to think that such a dreadful game and creatively bankrupt one has been such a catastrophic failure, but also to see that somebody calling it out for how bad it is has done infinitely better is just, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling, I'll tell you what. And it's all because you guys watch those videos. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys for doing that. So having said that, we got this big post and update on what season 2 will have to offer. I have not looked at this. I have not investigated it. So I don't know because I wanted to experience it with you guys together and make you share in my mental anguish. So let's investigate it. Let's see. Let's stop beating around the bush. Season 2. Season of Frozen Hearts. Now, Elephant in the Room. No, that's not a joke about her appearance. How dare you think that? Elephant in the Room. This is a winter-themed update releasing in July. That is just about the opposite point of when you would have expected this to drop. And that is seemingly because this game is running about 7 to 9 months behind schedule of when they thought these seasons were like gonna drop. And that's why everything thematically is just off. Like the Joker one was very Halloween centric and themed. And then this one is clearly like winter themed, even though it's the middle of summer. So that's kind of why things are staggered like this. But as we see here, let's read the description. Mrs. Freeze. Who is this? Victoria Frias is an ice cold self-sufficient Jesus already with she is stunning, brave, and beautiful. Ice cold, self-sufficient survivalist who has watched her Elseworld turn to ice as Brainiac's invasion took hold. By the time we meet her in season 2, she has spent years as the last holdout of her dying planet, unwilling to leave her cryogenically frozen wife behind. It just, every time I read these things, I think of that South Park episode with Cartman playing as whatever her name is from Disney. But after being recruited by the Squad, the squad, she may have the chance to save her wife, and unleash icy hell. Mrs. Freeze is bringing some much needed expertise to the squad in the form of her freeze tech. The primary way she utilizes her inventions is through her traversal, which incorporates a combination of ice cool control and super smooth sliding that makes for fast-paced, dynamic, and totally unique traversal kit. Mrs. Freeze's primary traversal ability is Ice Path. Whether used in the air or on the ground, this ability gives her complete freedom of movement. She can quickly slide around behind enemy shields to flank, dash straight into the fray, or even launch herself directly skywards. Perfect for getting the drop on her targets. When her ice path has run dry, her secondary traversal ability, Loop-de-Loop, will get her moving. By jumping out of the loop at different times, Freeze can zoom in different directions, straight up for an aerial recon of the battlefield, straight forward to dash back into the fight, and straight down for a slam into the ground. Aerial Precision is her final ability, creating a mid-air ice platform for her to fire down on Brainiac's forces. All of these abilities work together for a fluid, exciting style of traversal that's easy to pick up but hard to master. Let's see, close to mid-range, different attacks, assault rifle and pistols. Okay, once again, just using the same guns as everybody else. Like other members of the squad, comes with three different playstyles that her talents fit into, offering unique approaches to traversal and combat. Cooler, Snowball, and Exothermic, Physicist, and Technician. Okay. To recruit Mrs. Freeze, you will need to complete a series of incursions to locate her before she can be persuaded to join. Elseworld missions will unlock in a specified order in season 2, meaning once they've been completed and once you have reached episode rank 25, you can fight against a new Brainiac and then recruit her. Or I'm sure pay $10 and get access to her. Dude, I don't want to have to grind 25 freaking episode levels. Because if you're not familiar, basically they have like 10 different levels or 10 different little battle passes that are going at any given moment. So you have like episode ranks, you have the overall rank, you have character leveling to worry about, you have group leveling and the like squad leveling to worry about. There's all these different things going on at once, and you grind them by completing specific missions that level up your episode rank. Some of them move quickly and are only like 5 to 10 minutes long. Some of them are like 20, 30 minutes long. It's all over the place, frankly. And also the payouts are inconsistent too. One will tell you this will gain you like 2 levels of the episode rank, when in reality they gain you maybe like 0.75 of a rank. It just sucks my soul out. And frankly, I didn't have the strength to do it with Joker. I tried to, and then I was just running, like it was just melting my brain. So I grinded out the base game. I've grinded out a lot of stuff, but I don't think I'll have the strength to grind for her again. I don't understand why they're doing this again, even after the poor response to the way they did this with the Joker. Well, I do understand. They're doing it because they are going to try to push people into spending the $10 to get her immediately, which is weird because you spend $10, you get access to her, and then you can grind out the stuff to do the Brainiac fight where you can see like her recruiting herself. It's really, really frankly weird. One of the big additions in season 2 is the new Frozen Elseworld to explore. You'll find a few familiar sights, the Skull Ship in the sky, and Brainiac's forces are everywhere trying to take over, but this iced over Elseworld is full of surprises once you break through the permafrost. So it's just, again, if you're not familiar with this, endgame missions go and happen in what's called an Elseworld. Elseworlds are basically just small little themed maps. They're pretty tiny. I mean, this is literally all it is. You can see it all on screen here. There's like a little platform on the lower level. There's a mid platform arena or mid map arena. And then there's usually the far off map arena. But all of these are just slightly tweaked versions of what you've already played, just usually with one effect different. So for Joker, it was all covered in little presents or bows and confetti and balloons and stuff. And then with this one, it's just all ice and snow, is what it seems. As the Suicide Squad breaks into this inhospitable world, they will be faced with a host of new challenges and dangers. The frozen climate causes ice storms to crash down to the ground as the squad completes their missions, exploding in a flurry of frozen spikes and causing everyone caught inside to be frozen solid. Mastery of your character's traversal will be a lifesaver in season 2, as dodging the ice storms and pools of lava. And pools of lava? I thought it was an ice world. Apparently there's lava. Okay. So we'll need to do that. I see what you did there. Okay. Along with new characters to a new character to master and her Elseworld battleground to dominate, season 2 also adds a new set of gear items to track down. And as you'll see, we've created our very own Song of Ice and Fire. Oh, okay. So it's another Gatling gun, Firefly Notorious gear, Golden Glider Notorious gear. Okay. Parasite Notorious melee weapons. And Mrs. Byrne, that has got to be one of the most unappealing looking character builds and skins that I've probably ever seen in my life. Like, what? I want to be clear. I defended this game on the point that I thought the character designs were cool in the base game. I thought that they did a pretty good job with those. For the DLC and the expansions, I've had not great things to say. I think the Joker design was interesting. And then this, I think for her, it's just downright bad. Like, it's just the most generic pleather outfits. And it's just so uninspired. It's just, I don't know what else to say. It's just, in my opinion, it's bad. This is weird too. This build is all about using Firefly's Pyromaniac Notorious weapons to burn your enemies, staying in close quarters so that you can build up stacks of heat absorption with the Killer Frost Tier 3 Infamy Set 1 piece bonus. That'll give you a nice early damage boost. Then, when it's really time for action, take out an enemy with a Suicide Strike or kick off the Frozen Hearts buff, which increases your damage dealt and taken for every second that it's active. Activating your Suicide Strike again removes the buff, so it's a must-have when you're close to death. But even then, it's easy to get your stacks back from the defense that Golden Glider's Astral Projector gives you. And the Thermal Equilibrium melee weapon gives you plenty of extra affliction resource to get you right back to burning. So you play as Mrs. Freeze, but on fire. Interesting. Okay. Shattered Dreams, a more classical skin, it looks like. Long Winter, Captain Cold Infamy sets. This is the thing, is like they have references to all these other characters. Parasite, Golden Glider, Firefly, like they have references to all these, but you're not going to see them. Like, you just hear about them. Dress for the Cold, new skins for the rest of the party. Okay. And bear in mind, the only new, like, substantial new gameplay stuff is a Superman and Flash Brainiac fight in episode 1, and then in the mid-season update, or episode 3, I guess, and then in episode 4, there's a Green Lantern Brainiac fight reskin. So they're just reskins or combos of other fights you've already done. Like, it's no mystery at this point. They've given up on it. There was the reporting like a month or two ago that there's just a skeleton crew working on the game now, and everybody else is working on a director's cut for Hogwarts Legacy. So apparently a lot of people at Rocksteady are not even touching this anymore. They're all just moving forward to other stuff. That's why my expectation is pretty much the second they finish season 4, they're just going to announce, yep, and we're ending support. The servers will stay on for the foreseeable future, and then they'll shut them down in a year or something. There's just, you can't make this work. Like, this just doesn't, it just doesn't work long term. And we've seen that. I mean, you can't have a live service game functioning on 230 players. It just doesn't work. We have more people in the stream right now than are playing this game globally on Steam. And most likely globally, period, because apparently the game isn't doing much better on console either. It's just rough. It's just rough. But that will drop on the 25th, they're saying, which is Thursday. They were supposed to release it, last week? Like the 12th or something? And they delayed it basically by 2 weeks. So I don't know why they did that. My gut feeling is they delayed it like that because they included it for free as part of Amazon Prime Days. If you didn't get it, you're too late. But if you did, like, maybe they're relying on that to provide a lot of new players that might get the seasonal update and then try it. I don't know. But I don't know why else they would delay it. by 2 weeks the day before it was set to drop. Either way, delaying anything 2 weeks the day before it's supposed to drop, not a good look, because it just seems like, oh, maybe they found something that was just going to break the game, and so they decided to dump it or something. I don't know. Maybe they pondered giving the game something else to let people try it, maybe like a beta, but I don't think it's going to matter at the end of the day. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll talk about that more next week, I have no doubt. So buckle up, buckaroo. Buckle up, buckaroo. Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy has a director's cut coming, and it may well spell the end for Suicide Squad. Basically, just the report from Bloomberg, from Jason Schreier, outlining the chaotic development of Suicide Squad. And yeah, they took a $200 million loss on the game. And then they said many of the studio's employees are now helping develop a new director's cut version of Hogwarts Legacy. At the same time, according to people familiar, the studio leaders are looking to pitch a new single player game, which would return Rocksteady to its roots. So apparently the people that are there are working mainly on a Hogwarts Legacy director's cut. And then everybody else is working on prepping pitches for a single player game. And they're not going to be doing the live service thing again. $200 million loss. Jesus Christ, that's bad. Yeah. It's not good. It's not good. He took my thing.